How's it going, everyone? It's ThatBlueExplorer here, and welcome back to the channel and another video. So today is the second episode in the series, and well, if you're a bit confused as to what's going on, then I have decided to start a brand new series for the channel where I explore tons of locations across Lincolnshire. There might be lovely ones, iconic ones, historical ones, and maybe even ones you didn't know about, because there are so many nice places across Lincolnshire, and I thought I would share my experience with you all and take a look, a little gander at these places and all the things they have to offer. And today, well, some of you that live here might actually know where I am, because I am currently at Cleethorpes. So that's right, folks, I am at a very iconic seaside location, and today we're going to take a look around Cleethorpes itself. Now, Cleethorpes is a very big location, so we might have to do a few episodes on this place and get all the best bits of it on video for you guys to see. And we're going to do a very long walk today. We're going to start here and go all the way to the end, maybe to the pier as well, and include some very iconic bits and bobs about this place. So here we are, guys, walking down the seafront, and all the footage today is being recorded on a gimbal, so the video should be nice and stable, really smooth too. No more shakiness from the camera. I've finally sorted it out, guys. And on the right here we have the indoor market, and it is closed today, and it has been closed for a little while, I think, but it does open from time to time. Do some pretty cool shops in there. And here is the first staircase down to the beach. Alright then, folks, here we are down on the beach itself, and I must admit it's a lot cooler than it has been for the past few weeks, actually, because we have had pretty much a mini heat wave. It has been so warm for quite a while now, which is very nice, not complaining at all, because it's always lovely to have a bit of heat and a bit of sunshine. But I tell you what, it got to the point sometimes where it was unbearable. I'm talking 34 degrees, and yesterday, or actually no, the day before that, when I went to Tetney Lock, it was about 30 degrees again as well, but thankfully the wind cooled it down to about, I want to say 24-25 degrees, so it was nice, it was very pleasant. And today I think it's around 20 degrees, which, to be honest, I don't mind at all, because it sort of gives you a break from all of that crazy intense heat. And well, if I spin the camera around here, guys, you can see how nice this place is. Now, of course, it isn't the most ideal weather to come down to the beach, but still, it is quite nice just to come down here and experience it nonetheless. And regardless of what the weather's like, it's always still quite a great little place just to venture to for a day out. And of course, if it isn't raining, then even better. And this beach goes on for miles, guys. I'm talking maybe 3, 4, 5 miles long. I don't know the exact length of the entirety of Cleethorpes Beach, but I'll put it up on the screen once I do find it. But it's a very long walk, but a beautiful one at that, to be fair. So you are rewarded with lovely scenery, a great beach, and of course the lovely sea. And well, that just makes it worth it, guys. It doesn't matter how long the walk is. If you've got this around you, then it's always worth it. And well, let me just give you a bit of a 360 here of the location that we're currently at. So we're right at the left-hand side of the beach and the seafront. So we've got quite a way to walk if we want to get to the other side. And I'm hoping to maybe get a lot of it on film for you today, folks. The main thing I want to get on camera is the pier, because that has a very interesting story that some of you may know, some of you may not. So it might be a bit of an eye-opener for some of you guys, because I tell you what, you can see it, if I just spin round, you can see it in the background there. That wasn't its original length. No. Decades ago, it used to be way longer than that. But I'll tell all when we get there. And if I... Oh, there we go. If I raise the camera here, guys, you can see all of the shells along the beach here. They have been washed up by the shore, and there are millions of them everywhere. And you can find some really nice ones as well within the lot. So the legend himself and I have sometimes found some beautiful looking shells among the vast majority of them that you can see here sitting on the beach. And there we go, guys. Yeah, like I said, I do apologize. I'm still trying to work out the gimbal, all of its little features and bits and bobs, so you'll have to give me some time, but we'll get there in the end, folks. It's all about the experience and learning how to get it to work. But as you can see, there is just so many shells everywhere, and of course seaweed and all the other little bits and bobs that have been washed up from the sea. And sometimes you find really old glass bottles too, little shards of glass bottles. Me and the legend himself, my dad, we actually found a very vintage Lauf brewery bottle, which was pretty interesting to see. It was very, very cool, very old as well, and we actually saw a image of the full bottle online, and it was pretty cool to see it all together. But to find shards of it was, I think, even cooler, because it sort of, you know, brings back the past. These are little shards of history, folks. And the legend himself, my dad, will get this one, but the bit at the end looks like a pop-off filter, little air filter there. I know, I've got it bad, folks. Dad will get that though. But yeah, so it's a very lovely place to be, and even when the weather's like this, it is still really, really nice. I mean, it's very cool today. We still have a bit of warmth in the background. I can still feel a bit of heat, but it's not too much. It's very pleasant. We've got that breeze in the background to sort of offset that and make it a nice balance of hot and cold. So it makes it quite a nice day to take a walk on the beach. Now, of course, there are things up top, back up the stairs on the main walk of the seafront that I'm going to show you. So that's what we're going to do right now, actually, because we could walk the entirety of the beach, but pretty much it is sort of all the same from here until we get to the pier. But there is a fairground over there that I will show you guys from up top, and I'm going to try and get back up here without sinking into the sand. So I'll meet you back up there. So now we have this globe-like bin, which was created by a company to promote recycling. You can put all your plastic bottles in there, and there's a sign there too which tells you more about it. But now we get to look at more of the seafront from the top of the trail. And these pavements are so nice, the patterns in them. And as you can see, panning back to the globe and a bit more of the seafront there, looking really, really nice. It was actually quite nice walking on the beach, and we will go back on there in a minute or two, but looking over the road we can see all these shutters having really unique and funky designs on them, very colourful, and they stand out. Makes a nice change from the steel shutters. And as we cross the road, here we are, we get a better look at the shutters. And that seems to be a theme across the seafront, is that all of the shutters have designs and different colours on them. As we pass this shop here, as you can see, we have a bit of artwork on this shutter, a hand with a bandage on it, and that Japanese artwork in the back there of the wave, the very famous one. Really, really cool. Next up is quite a popular pub that sits on the seafront. Been in here a few times, a really, really nice place. The chicken nuggets are elite as well, guys, I've got to tell you that. But really nice vintage style design to it. Looks like it's going under a bit of refurbishment too, maybe something to do with the roof. But there's the rest of the seafront from the other side of the road, and all those lights as well actually come on during the night, and they look really, really good. Really lights up the entirety of the seafront. And as I was walking past, I spotted this little seating area with all these murals and colourful pictures. But it's really cool to sit in there and just look at each and every one of them. Really, really nice little area there. And moving on, we have more colourful shutters, as you can see there, and some more views of the seafront. And those lights, by the way, guys, like I said, look really cool during the night. These massive flower beds too, a bit more of that shutter. And here's the first arcade, the first of many actually. There's a lot you can do in there as well. Bingo, the claw machines, the games, plenty of entertainment on offer. And usually on these machines, everyone's a winner, except for me.
Bruh.
But if you don't fancy being mugged off by the claw machine, then there's plenty of places to sit and enjoy the view of the seafront. And here's another look at some of the other shops and the rest of the arcade that are lined up across the other side of the seafront. Plenty of places to choose from. And if you'd like a slightly higher view of your surroundings, then there are these quirky little seats that are located halfway down the seafront, allowing you to get a bit of a better view of everything around you. So we have made it almost halfway down the seafront, folks, or at least this section of the seafront, and it has started to spit as well. So hopefully it doesn't develop into, well, heavy rain, because that would be unfortunate, but a light spit is fine, and hopefully it shouldn't fog up the camera or anything like that. But as you can see around me, we are currently at a very interesting point, because as you can see behind me, there is the, well, sort of a fun fair and amusement location. There isn't much here, but it's sort of just an entertainment area where you get to go on a few rides and bits and bobs like that. And you know what? We're going to walk down this little section here with the stairs and take a closer look at the amusement rides, because I think now these have pretty much been decommissioned, they're offline and all that business. I don't think they have been operating in quite a while. I'm not sure why this is the case, but I guess maybe they just didn't decide to turn them on anymore, which is a shame, because they did look like fun a few years ago, but like I said, these haven't been in operation for quite a while. As you can see, there is the remains of the amusement rides. There is a Ferris wheel, sort of a big slide, then a merry-go-round, I want to call that, or just, you know, one of the attractions where you go around on the cars and stuff like that. But there you go. These are the remains of these attractions. Now, maybe it is just because that there have been so many events going on during summer, these haven't been opened, but like I said, they haven't been open in a very long time. So maybe we will see the revival of this section right here in the future. But apart from that, there are so many other things you can do here as well. So you're not limited to just these rides right here. There are so many other things as well. As you can see, the pier is getting closer. It is within our reach. So we're going to walk back up the stairs and continue our walk. One thing I do like about this area are the tiles on the floor. The pattern is really nice, and to be fair, the whole area is quite nice. The decorations are really good. We've got the black pillars. The pattern in the floor, on the tiles, and the nice colour, the sandy colour on the rest of the tiles on the walkway as well to match the beach itself and the sand. It's a pretty nice area, I must admit, and walking across it you get to see all of the surroundings, especially from up here on the actual walkway itself. And of course, if we turn around, there is the main train station, Cleethorpes train station, where you can fetch tons of different trains. And sometimes when my parents and I go out on a Saturday night and we sit at the pub that we're going to visit in a little bit, we sometimes like to train spot, because the trains do line up right outside the pub on the platform and you get to see them come in and leave as well. A lot of interesting trains come in and we get to see the numbers and where they're heading to. It's pretty cool to watch on a Saturday evening. But let us now continue our walk past the train station, and because, well, there is a lot more to see. There are a lot of different areas that you can enter to get onto the beach. And it's pretty cool because it means you can enter at any time you want to access the beach. And there are some more amusements here as well. If I just get the camera at the right angle, you can see this little seesaw attraction right here. And there are a few food vendors as well along the path. So if you're craving a hot dog or a burger, or of course the main iconic dish itself, fish and chips, there are plenty of places that you can go to satisfy your hunger. Of course, here we have the main sort of foodie vendor, which sells all sorts, like I said, hot dogs, burgers, drinks, cold drinks, hot drinks, sweets as well. You can get anything from there, folks. But what a place it is. And if we spin it round as well, we can see one of the few arcades that are here. Now, these have been open for as long as I can remember, and they're pretty fantastic places. The main one is the Mint, which is further down there, which we'll get to in a second. But then we have about 1, 2, 3 here. We've got Fantasy World, Tailor-Made Fun, and another extension of Fantasy World at the end. And believe me, folks, these places are massive. And you know what? How about we go in and take a quick look at the arcades? And actually, let's get another quick look at the train station and the main area itself. Here we are. There are all the platforms. As you can see, it's quite busy. You can hear all the voices, and there is one of the other pubs, the number 2, which is apparently one of the smallest pubs in Cleethorpes, and I can definitely stand by that. It's a very small pub on the inside, but a very cozy place as well. And there are a few bars and stuff up there, which will lead you to the main area of Cleethorpes, where all the different places are that you can go to on an evening. But there we are. There is the train station. I've never seen, as well, the kiosk closed. This is a little like vendor that sells tons of toys and sweets and drinks, but I've never actually seen it closed. So this is very different indeed, but it's got a very vintage-esque appearance to it. Really nice with the different colours across the top. And usually when it's open, it looks really cool as well. All the different shelves full of sweeties and goodies and toys. It looks really, really nice. But that is the kiosk where it sells all different bits and bobs. But now, let's enter the arcade. Very loud in here, folks. I do apologise if you can't hear me, but I'll overlay the music instead. But as you can hear, there's a lot of different things going on. We've got bumper cars, we've got the boxing machines, some of the different arcade machines as well. And let me just wipe my glasses, because of course it has been raining out there. There we go, take them off as well. But let's head into the main area. And as you can see, wow, how cool is that? There's even a few car-related games like NASCAR, Fast and Furious, and even a very special one that's coming up in just a second. But before we take a look at that, here's a little tour of the rest of the machines within the arcade. You've got your claw machines, your tipping point style games, and some other ones as well. Even a very vintage looking snakes and ladders, which looks really cool. And here's the coolest one of the lot, the Outrun Ferrari arcade machine. And look at that, we've got the back end of a 430/360 in yellow with the bucket seat and the Ferrari steering wheel. What an awesome machine. And I've had a few goes on it in the past and it never disappoints. Such a fun game. So folks, here we are at the pier, the most interesting part of the seafront. Now, there is a very sort of intriguing story and sort of a devastating one as well about the pier. And well, decades ago, the pier used to span from here to all the way over there. So it was much longer than it is now, folks. But what happened? Why is it much shorter nowadays? Well, decades ago, unfortunately, there was a massive fire that pretty much burnt the entirety of that side of the pier. So miles of the pier were burnt down and unfortunately lost. But thankfully, the main part of the pier is still standing. So it didn't reach all the way down. It only got a bit of it over there. Now, I'm not entirely sure of how they were able to stop the fire, but it was definitely a devastating one because it burnt down a lot of the pier. I mean, a mile or two or maybe more of it was lost due to those flames. But for many more years, the pier has still stood here untouched and still in great condition. It's in its historic condition. It's not been touched or restored. Of course, the main building is still up there as well, and it has changed a few times. I believe it was like a, I could be wrong on this, folks, but I believe it was a nightclub at one point, but now it has turned into probably one of the most iconic fish and chip places around here, and that is Papa's Fish and Chips. Fantastic place, great food as well, really, really nice. The chips, the fish, oh, and you can get some great combo meals in there too, guys. So if you're ever here, I recommend visiting Papa's Fish and Chips for your lunch and sitting on the jetty to eat it, because it is such a nice place to enjoy your lunch and have a nice 5 or 10 minutes to enjoy the seaside and the lovely surroundings that you have around you. I mean, take a look at that. How nice is that to witness? And well, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to have a few minutes just sat on the jetty to enjoy the sun that has now come out and just to bask in my surroundings. So folks, here we are on the pier itself. That's right, we have now entered the main pier and well, we have definitely ascended quite a bit off the ground, and you'd be surprised at how tall this pier actually is. I mean, if I take you to the edge here, you can see over it, and the floor is down there. So we're definitely at a decent height, that's for sure, but you get such a lovely view from up here. I mean, look at that. You can see for miles. And well, you can definitely tell that we have a bit more to go, that's for sure. A bit more to walk. But I think I'll save that for the next episode, and we'll do the other half of the seafront in the future. But for now, just take a look at the views you get from up here once again. I mean, it is so nice just to look out from up here onto the rest of the seafront. I mean, there is so much that we haven't seen yet, but like I said, stay tuned for a future episode where we will walk down there. And over there, folks, is the World War II outpost on the sea that I mentioned in the first exploration video at Tetney Lock. So there we are, folks. There it is. And you get a closer look at it from the pier, that's for sure. It's a bit closer in person than it looks on camera, but it's definitely there. And one really strange thing, guys, is that somebody owns that outpost. That's right. I believe it was auctioned off or it was put up for sale, and someone's bought it and now owns it, which is crazy. Imagine owning a piece of World War II history just out on the sea. That's absolutely crazy, folks. But I mean, it's pretty cool at the same time. Could you imagine what it'd look like on the inside? I mean, it must be pretty, I don't know, definitely breathtaking, because I imagine once you get there and walk inside it, if you still can, it would be full of the remains of the outpost from when it was used back in the day. But I have no idea, folks. Maybe one day we'll get to see the inside of it online, because I haven't actually seen the exterior of the place up close and definitely have never seen the interior. So folks, there we go. Bit of a fact for you there. Somebody owns that place over there. I don't believe the other one has been sold to anyone yet, so I think that one's still dormant and it's just out there on the sea. But anyway, we are now making our way down the pier and back onto the main seafront trail again. And as you can see, the gates are even really nice. We've got some gold decorations on there, we've got some black, and there's even a Papa's sign up there. How cool is that? So really nice place. The pier is lovely, and of course Papa's Fish and Chips, a great place to go if you need some scran. But apart from that, folks, let's now move on to another part of the seafront, which, well, I'm a bit thirsty. Are you? Well, in that case, let's head to the number 1 pub. And here's a closer look at the number 2 pub. So everyone, here I am inside of the number 1 pub. And I meant it when I said that, folks. It is the number 1 pub, that's what it's called. But it is also a fantastic place as well, full of history and full of really cool things as well. If I walk into this room here, as you can see, there are bottles everywhere, really cool ones as well, old ones, new ones, funky and unique ones, they're everywhere. And what a cool place this is. Now, I have got permission from the owners, or one of the owners, to record within the pub, so it's all good, folks. And what a lovely place this is. Oh, sorry for that, bit of a lens flare there, but there you go. Look at this. It's just an awesome place this is. Like I said, there are so many funky things around the place, and there are more rooms to explore as well, so we'll have a quick look through there. And as we walk through these rooms, you can see there are so many cool things on the walls and around you as well. The pianos, all the posters on the wall, and look at this shelf full of beer bottles, all the different ones. And as we walk through to the next room, we have one of the bars and so many other things as well. Coasters on the wall, vintage posters, and well, if we look towards the ceiling, you can see all of the beer mats on the roof, which is a really cool pattern. Really like that, really unique. And we've got some really comfy chairs here too. My parents and I have sat here before, really nice. And walking through to the next room, we've got this great table, which is situated by the window where you can see the platform with the trains. What a great little spot this is. We sit here sometimes to do the train spotting. And here is the main area itself with all the different bits and bobs. We've got a pretty cool sign on the wall there replicating a train ticket, and a window through to the bar which is situated at the back. There's also a front one too. More bottles on the shelves there, and pictures of old Grimsby and the fishing ports when they were active. Pretty cool stuff. And here's a closer look outside. There's also a bunch of pictures on the wall by the entrance of Cleethorpes in different time periods. So you can see we have pictures that date way back, and the picture of the pier fire, but next to it is an aerial shot of the pier and its original length. How interesting is that? And you know I had to include the cars. Take a look at that Celica GT. What a cool and awesome car that is. I decided to have a cheeky drink because it was quite warm. I had to take my fleece off as well, but cheers. Okay then folks, so I've just had a cheeky drink in the number one and I'm feeling refreshed. Oh boy, it is definitely warmed up, which isn't a complaint because it's lovely now, but whew, I was sweltering a bit, I won't lie. So now that we've had a nice tour of the pub, which I would definitely recommend, guys, you'll hear me say that in the edit, but absolutely recommend the number one pub. Lovely place, great people, and it's just such a nice pub to have a drink and enjoy the afternoon. Regardless of the weather, it's always fantastic to enjoy the number one pub. And so guys, that will be the end of today's adventure at Cleethorpes. But this is part one, remember guys, so another video will be in the making in the future where we will look at the rest of Cleethorpes, so stay tuned for that folks. If you'd like to see that and any other episodes within this series of That Blue Explorer, then you know what to do. And if you're new, you also know what to do. Hit that bell, like, comment and subscribe, all of that good stuff, because it's always appreciated. And well, I'll see you guys in the future. Have a good one.